Hey guys, it's your guy Bo here, and today I'm going to talk about something that's rather controversial, which is the Star Wars sequel movies. These movies have caused a ton of controversy over the past few years. People hating the characters, the storyline, the plot. I will be shedding some light on these today, and I'll be going in detail over the story. I will be explaining the characters, and I will be explaining the plot. Now, first, just a heads up, if you do not want to hear about this, then you can click away from this video right now. I will not stop you. Anyways, here we go. The first character I want to talk about is Snoke. Snoke is the canon version of Lumaya. He was supposed to be a woman initially, and he, like Lumaya, was the most powerful dark side user after Palpatine's supposed death. And he turned Kylo Ren to the dark side, who is essentially the canon version of Jacen Solo. Kylo Ren killed Han Solo like how Jacen Solo killed Mara Jade. Now, we're going to go to Kylo Ren. He is, like I said before, he's basically the canon version of Jacen Solo. He, like in Legends, is Han and Leia's kid. Luke's nephew. And he was turned to the dark side by a powerful dark side user, and the galaxy was plunged in the Second Galactic Civil War, which the battle between the Resistance and the First Order was, essentially. And he killed Han Solo like Jacen Solo killed Mara Jade. And now that we have talked about Kylo Ren, who is essentially Jacen Solo, we are now going to talk about the elephant in the room, Rey, who is basically the canon version of Jaina Solo. Rey is someone who is controversial. People are divided over her, saying she has no character development. She's a Mary Sue. She has, it doesn't make sense. She's too overpowered. She doesn't deserve the Skywalker name. I'm going to explain all of this, and it's best explained in these words. These are not my words. I will be leaving the person who said this anonymous in order to protect their privacy. This is what was said. I will be reading them to you. Many people think Rey has no development and is a Mary Sue, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Rey has trouble accepting who she is and her place in the galaxy. She has this horrible loneliness in her, and she clings to the past and struggles to let it go and become who she's meant to be. She also has to deal with being the last of the Jedi and carrying the hope of the galaxy on her shoulders. She also finds out that she's related to the most evil person in the universe, and she fears that her lineage will define her future. As the story goes on, Rey learns to let go of the scavenger and become the Jedi hero she was born to be. She finds that she is not alone in the galaxy. She gets to choose her family instead of letting her blood determine who her family is. She chooses the people who actually love her and mentor her to be her family. That's also one of her weaknesses, as Kylo says. She looks for her family in Luke, Han, and Leia. However, those three do show her compassion and love and teach her valuable lessons. Besides Finn, Han is the first person to show Rey any compassion, even wanting her to fly with him and Chewie. He sees and recognizes her talent with ships, machinery, and combat. Han will be proud of how she's taken care of the Falcon with Chewbacca and staying with him. Han became a brief father figure to Rey. Luke was the first person who truly understood Rey's struggles with the Force and was the one to show her how to open herself up to it and show her the ways of the Force and taught her the basics and fundamentals of the Force and how it works and resides in all living things. While he was a reluctant teacher, he taught her some of the most important lessons. When Luke comes back as a ghost, he's the one to push Rey to not give in to fear and go confront Palpatine, and that sometimes there are things that are stronger than blood, which is a lesson Luke knew all too well. Leia was perhaps the most important person in Rey's journey. Rey became like a mother to Rey and even furthered her Jedi training. Leia was the one who told Rey to not fear who she was and was with her until the very end, even on Exegol when she defeated Palpatine. That's what Rey is. And she is just a sped up version of Luke. Because like Luke, she was living a miserable life on a desert planet. And like Luke, she was 19 when she first discovered adventure. She like Luke, only a few hours later was involved in blowing up a big super weapon that could destroy planets. And I mean, if you think at Luke, George Lucas had the idea to recreate Luke Skywalker as a woman. That's what Rey is. And if you think about it, Luke was the OG Mary Sue. As he goes, like back when it was just the 3 movies of the original trilogy, he goes from a few hours later destroying a big laser gun, then 3 years later actually starting to train, and then 6 months he's a fully fledged Jedi Master. Like, that didn't make sense. And she, like him, goes a few hours later, destroys a massive laser gun, except she only starts training a few, like, right after that. And she learns quickly, because like Luke, she was a prodigy. And it goes from a year between the events of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So she only had time to further her. Like, she's only just getting started. And people say that she is not worthy of the name Skywalker. But, like, here's why she did it. Rey chooses to use the name of the family that actually cared for her instead of using the name of someone who was the literal definition of evil. Once again, she doesn't let her blood or past define who she is. She chooses her own path and becomes part of the family that embraced her. Family is not defined by blood. Family is defined by love. And yes, blood determines who you are related to, but blood relation is not the same as family. So ultimately, Rey Skywalker finds her real family and finally knows where she belongs. And it's pretty much an unspoken rule that you can't kill off the Skywalker name in Star Wars. Like it goes all the way to Cade Skywalker in Legends, and it goes now to Rey in canon. And she is deserving of that name. And you may be thinking, and you people who are saying, she's not a Skywalker, she didn't get her arm chopped off or shot by Force lightning. You do realize that when you say that, you are also implying that Leia is not a Skywalker either, as none of those things happen to her either. So, yeah, again. And now for the plot. People are upset because Han, Leia, Luke all die. But see, here's the thing. That is actually the opposite of what happened in Legends. Chewbacca died, was the only one who died, and everybody else stayed alive. And now in this one, everybody else dies, but Chewbacca's the only one who remains alive. They just did the opposite. That's all they did. And people who genuinely, like the ones who say to people that they should not like the sequels because they're so bad, don't hate someone because they like something that you don't. Okay, like, I like anything Star Wars. There are some things I prefer not to watch, but I respect them, as they are some things that people like the vintage Star Wars stuff and Star Wars Visions. Except for the 2003 micro series, I don't really watch the other vintage Star Wars stuff, but I still respect it. I just prefer not to watch it. And like I said, don't hate someone because they like something that you don't. Don't say hateful things because they like one thing that you hate. Like, for example, I hate Harry Potter. I despise it with every fibre of my being. I think it's stupid and it's meant for 5-year-olds. But I don't hate people who do like it, as that brings them happiness. Like Star Wars brings me happiness. And the sequels, they bring me happiness as well. So instead of hating on them, you should just respect that is what makes them happy. And again, this was all just my opinion. I'm just one person. And there are millions of people in the world. And this is just one person's opinion against millions. But if you were feeling confused before, I hope that this has helped shed light on the sequels. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.